Welcome to Dark Whispers AI, where shadows speak louder than words and silence hides the truth. Tonight, we return to one of the most terrifying hauntings ever recorded. A case so disturbing, it became the inspiration for one of the scariest horror films of our time. But behind the Hollywood fiction lies a true story far darker than what you saw on screen. This is the real haunting of the Perron family and the evil that lived with them for nearly a decade. It began in 1971 when Roger and Carolyn Perron purchased a secluded farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. The house was built in 1736, old, rustic, quiet, too quiet. They moved in with their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April. A big family ready for a fresh start. But the house had other plans. It started small, whispered voices, footsteps where no one walked, doors opening on their own. The family chalked it up to the age of the house, settling wood, cold drafts. But then things escalated. The children began seeing figures, full-bodied apparitions in old-fashioned clothing. They reported a woman who would appear in the corner of their rooms at night, just standing, watching. They'd wake up with bruises, scratches they couldn't explain. The youngest daughter, April, claimed she had a new friend, a little boy who appeared and disappeared at will. She called him Oliver. Carolyn, the mother, was affected most. She began hearing voices in the walls. Objects would vanish and reappear in strange places. She would wake up at 3:07 a.m., gasping, feeling like something was staring at her from the darkness. She said the house drained her physically and mentally. At one point, she stopped eating. Her body grew weak. Her behavior changed. The family later learned that the property had a long, violent history. Multiple deaths, suicides, hangings. A woman named Bathsheba Sherman once lived there in the 1800s. She was rumored to be a witch, accused of sacrificing her infant child in a satanic ritual. Though never convicted, locals believed she cursed the land before her death. The Perrons believed Bathsheba's spirit never left. As the years passed, the attacks grew bolder. Carolyn was the main target. She would be thrown from her bed, slapped by invisible hands. Once her body levitated. The family saw it happen. The daughters recall the nights with fear, not just strange noises, but something darker, something that hated them, something that wanted them gone. Desperate, the Perrons reached out to the most famous paranormal investigators of the time, Ed and Lorraine Warren. When Lorraine entered the house, she claimed to feel a presence so evil it took the air from the room. The Warrens concluded that the house was a hotspot, not just for one ghost, but for multiple spirits. And at the center was Bathsheba. An attempted seance nearly turned deadly. Carolyn was allegedly possessed. Her chair levitated and she was thrown across the room. The Warrens believed the spirit had latched onto her soul. But Roger, the father, was skeptical. He forced the Warrens to leave, fearing they would make things worse. And still, the hauntings continued. For nearly 10 years, the Perron family lived with the presence. The daughters would later say they never truly felt safe in their own home, that the darkness became a part of them. They eventually moved out, and the activity stopped, or at least changed. Andrea Perron, the eldest daughter, would later write a trilogy of books about their experience. She insists that everything was real, that what they lived was not a dream or a delusion, but a warning. She said, "There is something beyond the veil, and we lived with it." Skeptics argue that the story is exaggerated, that memory plays tricks, that the Warrens were known to dramatize. But too many witnesses, too many details, too much fear remain. 5 daughters, 2 parents, a lifetime of trauma. Even today, those who visited the house report strange activity, flickering lights, cold spots, shadows that move on their own. The current owners don't live there. They allow paranormal investigators to explore the property, but not for long. What really happened inside the Perron farmhouse? Was it the imagination of a frightened family? A hoax amplified by Hollywood? Or something much older and much darker that never truly left? Let us know in the comments. And remember, some houses don't just hold memories. They hold things that were never alive and never planned to leave. Subscribe to Dark Whispers AI, where even the walls remember.